So in this video, we're going to be discussing XLOOKUP. Now, the first question is, what is a lookup? And here you have your example. We've got a list of things ordered, and each one has a price that's listed here in our lookup table or our price list. So for example, for this first item, hoses, we need to find out the unit price. So we look up hoses in here, and we find out that it costs $4. And then we would put $4 here, and a lookup will do exactly that. And the lookup we prefer is XLOOKUP. And here's what XLOOKUP looks like. It's equals XLOOKUP, and then the first argument is what we're looking for in our table. So in this case, it's going to be hoses. And then the second argument is the lookup array, which is the list in which we are looking for hoses. So that's this list of items. So we'll just do that, G6 to G11. And then the third argument is the return array. So what we're trying to get from the lookup table, which in this case is the prices. So that's just going to be our nice little H6 to H11. There's three optional arguments, but we're not going to worry about that right now. And that is pretty much it. And we got it because hoses cost $4. So we'll just real quick absolutize that appropriately. And then we'll just drag it down. And as you can see, it worked. So for example, Techno Doodads is $135 right here. And here it is, Techno Doodads, $135. Flange leads, $7. Flange leads, $7. And it worked. Now, here's a slightly different version. In this case, we're only selling pharma tools, but the price will depend on how many pieces are being bought. This is what's known as volume pricing. So, for example, Skunkworks buys pharma tools, and they buy 1,244. So we're going to look here and find a value where it's greater than the minimum and less than the maximum. So for the 1,244, it's greater than 1,001, but less than 1,500. We're going to do a lookup that looks at both columns. And this is what we call a multiple criteria or multiple condition XLOOKUP. And the syntax is a little different. This is how it works. We do equals XLOOKUP. Now the first argument is always going to be 1. Then the second argument is going to be the different criteria that we have, all connected to each other by multiplication symbols. And each condition will be in parentheses so that we can multiply together the entire conditions. So the first one will be parentheses, and we're going to do the quantity is greater than or equal to the column of minimums. Then we're going to do multiplication symbol, next criterion. The quantity is less than or equal to the maximum price. And those are our two criteria, separated in parentheses and multiplied by each other. Now right here, if I had a third criterion, I could multiply it by the first two. And if I had a fourth one, I could do that too. I could actually have an unlimited string of criteria all multiplied by each other. Now comes the third argument. The third argument is the return array, and that'll be just, again, the prices, just as you'd expect on a normal XLOOKUP. And that's all there is to it. And we're going to absolutize our arrays, of course, appropriately, just with $1 sign, and you know why. And now we'll pull it down, and we're going to find it should work. And let's do a couple of spot tests. The 3,621 is greater than 2001, and somehow Excel knew that it's less than and up. 2,143 is also $12. 2014, etc. 428 should be 17, and it is. Great. And that's what we had to do, and you're good to go.